Hi everyone, welcome to the Consulting Couch. Here we discuss all things consulting. Today I, Anas, and my friend Khyati will start off by Consulting 101, which is what is consulting? Consulting means providing business advisory solutions to different type of business problems. Client comes to consultant with issues they are facing and consultants provide them a solution. It could be in the form of corporate strategy, marketing strategy, operational improvement, financial modeling, or valuation. Now, for the sake of simplicity, we have divided the entire process followed in consulting right from the time when client approaches a consultant implementation of the solution into five parts. The first one is assessment, where consultants identify the issue faced by the client, defining the problem. It could be declining revenue or declining market share, threat from a new competitor, operational efficiency, merger and acquisition of a company. After doing assessment of the situation, the second step comes, which is analysis, where consultants gather and assess the available information. This can involve doing market research and benchmarking to identify the best practices, performing gap analysis, and defining the current state of the client. Analysis help consultants to define their target state. When the target state is defined, then comes the recommendation, where consultants create a strategic plan of action. This could be corporate strategy, process or operational improvement, organizational restructuring, cost reduction and revenue optimization, or digital transformation roadmaps. After proposing their plan, after proposing the recommendation, consultants have to build consensus among the leadership of the client. It involves clear presentation of the findings, workshops, and meetings, risk assessment workshops, communication strategy, to name a few. This is a very crucial step. After arriving at a consensus and presenting their solution, it is the time for implementation now. Consultants assist executing the proposed strategies. It involves training and continuous support, strategy adjustment based on the real time feedback, etc. These were the five steps followed by consultants while providing business advisory. Now, it is very important to note that client engagement is a very crucial part across this value chain, right from assessment of the situation to implementation. Now that we understand what is consulting, let's take a deep dive into what are the different types of consulting. Consulting is one of the most diverse market. Consultant is expected to be a jack of all trades. We have divided this into six different types. It is important to note that it is not an exhaustive list. The first one is strategy consulting. Strategy means creating a plan of action to arrive at a particular goal. This includes creating organizational or corporate strategy, funding strategy, marketing strategy, or a product launch strategy. Strategy consulting is one of the most sought after job in consulting industry as it really involves big brains while creating strategies to solve problems. The next one is management consulting. This revolves around providing solutions for all sort of organizational concern, from strategy to a variety of elements within management of a company. This can include organizational restructuring, operational improvement, setting up corporate governance, to name a few. Then we have financial consulting. This is a point where consulting world meets the private equity or that of investment banking. As the name suggests, this revolves around financial planning and analysis, investment advisory, creating merger and acquisition strategy, financial models. And it is very important to note that financial modeling becomes a very crucial aspect of financial consulting. The next one is HR consulting. This involves helping clients with human capital problems, which revolves around creating strategies for talent acquisition or talent outsourcing, employee training, knowledge transfer, and succession planning. This also involves setting up service level agreements, operational level agreements, creating process flow diagrams in order to arrive at a clear reporting frameworks. The fifth one in our list is IT consulting, where consultants leverage tech to achieve business outcomes. This involves cloud computing, software selection and implementation, IT strategy development. With the advent of AI, this field is further expanded into AI consulting, where consultants help their client to implement AI-based solutions in their company. However, AI consulting is still a developing field. The last one in our list is operational consulting. As the name suggests, this includes improving organizational operational process, operational risk management, supply chain optimization, etc. These were the broad six categories which involves more or less all type of work which is done by a consultant. Since we have a fair idea of what is consulting and what are the different types of consulting, we will now move on to benefits of a career in consulting. Consulting is that glamorous white collar role which is the aspiration of every college graduate student who wants to enter into the realm of problem solving and creating impact on businesses. Now, consulting offers various benefits. We have again divided in this list into some parts. The first one is impact. As consultants are directly working with the clients, which are big companies having global presence, their ideas and solutions create a long lasting impact. Very few jobs are able to provide this level of impact. Second is continuous learning. Since consultants solve different sort of projects and they keep on changing after a few months or so, so the learning curve never really stops in consulting. Of course, we just cannot not talk about travel. Travel, the client base is usually spread across different geographies, and client want their consultants to be on site to conduct workshops and trainings, roll out the strategy, assisting and implementing strategy. So the job offers ample opportunities to travel around the globe. Since one is working with diverse set of clients and the consulting firm themselves look for candidates who have something unique or that X factor in their profile, consultants have enough opportunities for creating a long lasting network among their peers or among their clients. The managers we find while working on projects can sometimes become our mentors and stream us through the thick and thin of our corporate careers. So, mentorship is another benefit that we get while working in consulting. Educational opportunities. Growth is very crucial in any industry. Depending on case to case, consulting firms often sponsor higher education for their staff as they want their employees to grow. The next one is, of course, good exit opportunities. Working on different sort of problems makes a consultant a jack of all trades and thus create good exit opportunities, which can include specific strategy roles in a Fortune 500 company or a leadership position. Now, as we discussed, as we all know that every coin has two sides, so does consulting. Now we have a fair idea of benefits. Now we are going to discuss about what are all the downsides of a career in consulting. Downsides of a career in consulting. There is no doubt in the fact that consulting can be hectic and demanding. Long working hours is a norm in consulting. We have bucketed downsides into six types. The first one being long working hours. Solving complex client issues lead to extended working hours, which creates a work-life imbalance. Second one is heavy travel. At times, it happens that travel becomes a norm, which starts affecting personal time for relationships and home. Time away from friends and family. Hectic hours affect the time spent with the loved ones and missing out on important events. Inconsistent schedule. Working hours vary greatly. At times, consultants have to shift their clock based on the geography of their current client. Short-term project focus. The projects which consultants work on typically last for a few months or quarters, so one might not be able to see long-term impact himself or herself, which can lead to a lack of satisfaction at times. Long working hours and inconsistent schedule can lead to a potential burnout early in a career. It is very important to be aware and conscious about both sides so as to make an informed decision before venturing into the consulting world. Now, my friend Khyati is going to discuss about hierarchy, compensation, and interview process in consulting.
Hi everyone. Now let's understand the hierarchy in consulting. It starts up from the bottom with the position of an analyst or an associate, which is basically the execution layer, and they're responsible for leading the execution efforts on all the projects that they're assigned on. One has to stay in this position for approximately 2 to 3 years before being promoted to the position of a consultant. Here you are a project lead, so you're managing the day-to-day functioning of the project and are the main point of contact for the client. One has to stay in this position for approximately 3 years before being promoted to the position of a principal, where you are the project CEO equivalent. And you have to ensure that the projects are running smoothly and the client is satisfied. After 3 to 4 years in this position, one is promoted to the partner level. Here, you are the project owner and the director of the main project. So, you are mainly responsible for the business development and growth. Now, this was the main hierarchy in consulting. However, companies slightly modified the hierarchy. Like, for example, McKinsey has a consultant analyst, then a business analyst, associate, engagement manager, then associate principal, partner, director. Whereas PwC, as you can see, has only associate, senior associate, manager, director, and partner. The number of years one person has to stay in a position also differs from company to company. However, the hierarchy in all the consulting firms, when it comes to the kind of work you are doing, remains the same. Now, let's understand the compensation structures in consulting. So, basically, the roles being offered pre MBA and post MBA are very different. The roles being offered pre MBA are generally research oriented roles because, because of which the compensation structures are generally lower. So, as you can see, Bain hires in their BCN division, which is their backend division. McKinsey hires in their knowledge centers, and the pay they offer is 11 lakhs to 14 lakhs in BCN, and as you can see, 15 lakhs to 20 lakhs in McKinsey knowledge centers. Whereas when these companies are hiring for their post MBA roles, they're hiring for more front end and client centric roles. So the pay is accordingly higher. McKinsey here, as you can see, instead is giving 21 to 35 lakhs. Bain is also hiring for their front end division and is giving 17 to 30 lakhs. So this is mainly how the compensation structure pre-MBA and post-MBA differs. Now that we understand the compensation, the hierarchy in consulting, it's very important to understand how to get into consulting. So we'll understand the interview process now. Taking a deep dive into the interview process, the consulting interviews are generally very lengthy and they follow a structured process that typically includes multiple rounds. Once you choose which niche you want to get into, like the ones we discussed in the start, suppose you decide I want to get into IT consulting and Capgemini and Accenture are my top choices, then you submit your CV and cover letter either through a referral or on the company's career portal. Post screening, a lot of companies have a game as the first round of testing. McKinsey has their McKinsey problem solving test, BCG has their case bot. These tests are meant to test the candidate's aptitude and how well does one think on his feet. The candidates filtered out after these tests have multiple rounds of case interviews and guesstimates spanning across various industries, which we'll be covering in a lot of detail in the upcoming videos. Lastly, a lot of companies have a partner round, which is just like the one last culture fit check. After clearing this entire lengthy process, one finally makes it to consulting. Now that you have an in depth understanding of the world of consulting, hope you liked the content and learned something new today. Stay tuned for more such content. Thank you. Bye.